Okay, let's work through this Mathlinks 1.2 assignment. We have question number 1. This looks like a nice Pythagorean Theorem chapter. This is 3, 4, 5. Now the area 1, this large area, is going to be area 2 plus area 3. So these two small areas added up to become the hypotenuse area. Hypotenuse is along this side here. So find the area of A1 is going to be 5 times 5. This is a square. 5 times 5 is equal to 25. 25 units squared. Because we're not sure if it's meters or centimeters. Number 2, A. Which side are legs hypotenuse? There's two legs and there's a hypotenuse. Hypotenuse, which is the longest side, which is opposite the right angle. What does this mean? This means 90 degrees. This little symbol here. Let's go to number 3 up here. What is the Pythagorean theorem? C squared equals A squared plus B squared. This is your C, this is your A, this is your B. Number 4. Now be careful. It doesn't always have to be ABC. We can just make sure that the longest side is all by itself. In this case, the longest side is Z. Z squared equals X squared plus Y squared. And it doesn't really matter if you put Y squared plus X squared because addition is commutative. 2 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 plus 2. Number 5, it's good to memorize 5, 12, 13. But if you want to work it out, we can say X squared is equals to 5 squared plus 12 squared. X squared equals 25 plus 144. X squared equals 169. When you square root both sides, X equals the square root of 169, so which is 13. So you can work out algebra step by step at your own pace, but 5, 12, 13 is a Pythagorean triple. It's good to memorize. It's good to memorize 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13, 7, 24, 25, 8, 15, 17, and 9, 40, 41. These are the ones that high school students most likely know, and you can even double them. So when I say 3, 4, 5, we get 6, 8, 10. You can even multiply by 10, 30, 40, 50. So if you have variations of these Pythagorean triples, let me just spell that out for you. This is going to be Pythagorean triples. Pythagorean triples. You can find this on Wikipedia and try to memorize. There's way more, but these are the common low ones are the ones that you learn in high school. So 5, 12, 13. Now be careful, number 6, people will say 3, 4, 5. It's not 5, it's wrong. The 5 is the hypotenuse, so this is a trick question. We're going to say that the hypotenuse squared is equals to 3 squared plus x squared. So 16 equals 9 plus x squared. 16 minus 9 is going to be 7. You square root both sides, so x is equals to root 7, and that's exact value. If you have a calculator, you can actually find some decimal number, but this is actually preferred in mathematics, exact answers. Number 7. Like we just talked about before, 30, 40, 50 is the Pythagorean triple, and the area is going to be 50 times 50. So the area is equals to 50 times 50. 5 times 5 is 25, and then when you have a 0, 0, you just add the 0, 0. It's 2,500 meters squared. Now as for this question here, this is from your textbook. This is 2, this is 2. Can we figure out what the side length C is? This is the hypotenuse. It goes from here to here. We're going to say C squared equals 2 squared plus 2 squared. This happens to be a leg length of 2 and 2. So C squared is equals to, this is going to be 4 plus 4, which is 8. Now hold on. This is C. The area is C times C, which is C squared. We just found the area. So beginners might take the square root of both sides, but we don't even need to take the square root because the question is asking for the area, which is base times height, which is C times C, which is C squared. So the area is equals to 8. 8 units squared. So in your textbook, it also teaches you that if indeed c squared equals a squared plus b squared, then the theta, the angle, is right angle, is 90 degrees. So remember the Pythagorean triple, we focus on 3, 4, 5. And if you double it, you get 6, 8, 10. So indeed, 10 squared equals 6 squared plus 8 squared, so therefore we say theta is 90 degrees. Okay, number 10. It says here, we have this nice composite problem. We have a nice triangle plus half a circle. And these formulas, area equals pi r squared, is the area of a circle. These formulas will be explained when you're grade 12. But at this point, we're just going to trust these formulas. And the circumference is not the actual area. The second formula, pi d or 2 pi r, is the actual distance you travel all the way around the circle here. So let's focus on these problems here. What's the exact area of the combined shape? So the area is going to be a triangle plus half a circle. So the area is equals to area of a triangle plus 1/2 that of a area of a circle. Now what is the area of the triangle? It's going to be base times height divided by 2. What's the area of a circle? It's going to be pi r squared. Now what's the base? The base of the triangle is going to be 12. 12 times the height is going to be 5 divided by 2. I'm just copying down the formula here. Now what's the radius? The radius here, you have to use some Pythagorean Theorem. 5, 12, 13. Just remember that this is a nice Pythagorean triple. You could do it slowly if you want to figure out c squared equals a squared plus b squared, but we're just doing the fast way right now. Now the diameter is all the way across. The radius is halfway. What's half of 13? It's going to be 13 divided by 2. This is 13 over 2, or you can even say 6.5. But let's just go with the flow here. So what we have is 12 divided by 2 becomes a 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus, and then when I say 1/2 pi, that's the same thing as pi over 2. And when you say 13 squared, 13 over 2 squared, you'll learn in the future that 13 over 2 squared, let me just work on the side here. 13 over 2 squared is the same thing as 13 over 2 times 13 over 2. So you multiply across. So 13 times 13 is 169. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So what we have is 30 plus pi times 169 is equals to 169 pi. And 2 times 4 is 8. So here we have a nice answer. Those of you who prefer calculator answer, let's just work it out. 30 plus 169, look for the pi symbol by pressing shift or second. 8, and I get approximately 96.4. So this is the area. We'll just say units squared. What's the exact perimeter? So now we're going to be an ant that's walking around. So the perimeter, P, is equals to 5 plus 12 plus half a circumference. 1/2 circumference. So 5 plus 12 is 17. And the circumference is going to be pi d. And the diameter happens to be 13. So pi over 1/2 pi is the same thing as pi over 2. And then we have pi on the top. And this is the same thing as 13 over 1. So pi times 13 is going to be 13 pi. And the denominator, we're just multiplying fractions. 2 times 1 is 2. So this is an exact answer. If you prefer to have a decimal answer, let's go 17 plus 13 pi over 2. We get 37.4. Now this is a length, so we're not going to say units squared, we're just going to say units. Whatever the units are, meters, centimeters, whatever it is. Okay, so let's try question number 11. It says find x. Let's use Pythagorean triples again. 3, 4, 5. 5, 12, 13. So right away we know that x is going to be 12 because of Pythagorean triples. This here is not the hypotenuse, it's a leg.